Who's your trading partner? That's really what I'm going to be talking about with you today, because in my experience in the marketplace, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that as we go forward, at the end of the day, it's the relationships that you have and the people that you trade with that are probably going to make the biggest difference when it comes to your trading. Give me just a second to get my screen worked out here for a minute. I'm going to go ahead and get the ball rolling in just a second. I want to be able to communicate with you. However, do me a favor. If you can hear me okay, go ahead and type yes in the box. That way I can see that you're on the talk and that we can communicate a little bit. I see Henry, I see Jesse, I see Cal, Jim, John, Ed, Henry, Michael, Daryl. Okay, let's get the ball rolling. Where am I coming to you from? I'm here at the Market Traders Institute in Lake Mary, Florida. All right, we've been in the business of training Forex traders since 1994. 21 years in the business and 30,000 trained students. Know this, there might be other groups out there that are doing training seminars. I think if you type into a Google search Forex training, you'll see a lot of them. But there's only one that's #1, and Market Traders has the longest track record and the greatest number of trained students in the business. So whether it's by choice or good luck, you get to hear from the very best, and I think that's kind of a big deal. In fact, we're in Inc. magazine this month. They say we're one of the 5,000 biggest growing companies in the world. And that comes because we're delivering one thing. Net. Bottom line is important when you're trading, and we're getting those results. Our success is coming from building Forex traders. And when one new person gets involved, they become a part of the group, they get those results, they tell 2, 3, 4 people, and all of a sudden we get to get mentioned in the same breath as Microsoft and GoPro and Timberland, which is also a pretty neat thing. Who we led by? The chief. All right, you might have seen him on CNBC or Fox Business. Net, when people need to know about the Forex, this is who they come to. A lot of success as a Forex trader, a lot of people coming to him for help. Now follow me on this point, because I think this is important. There was a time that a lot of people came to Jared Martinez and said, hey, you've had success trading Forex. Can you tell me how to do it? So he followed their question, tell me how to do it, and he wrote a book. All right, a lot of people read the book. He told them what he did. But what ended up happening was those same people that read the book came to him and said, listen, you told me how to do it, but I want to take the next step. All right, I like the book, but can you show me how to do it? Direct and live and hands-on. In other words, can I trade with you? And I think that really when traders are looking to find that path to success, that's what they're looking for. All right, they're looking for direct, live, and hands-on. And really, that's going to be where the rubber meets the road. Now, let me find out a little about who's here, just very quickly, so I understand who my audience is today. Do me a favor so we can test our connectivity. Type your answer in the box just to identify yourself for me. If you're brand new and this is your first webinar, go ahead and type a 1 in the box. If you've been to a couple of these before, and maybe you have an open practice trading account in the Forex, put a 2 in the box. And if you're trading some real money, stick a 3 in the box. That way I know who it is that I'm talking to today. A lot of #1s, that's good. All right, spending some time on a Tuesday afternoon getting stuff figured out. Some of you have some practice accounts open, and some of you are my vets. Okay, long story short, whatever you came for today was probably to take a step forward in your trading, and I'm going to see that you have an opportunity to do that with the right people. I've been doing this 21 years. All right, I've got a license in just about every market there is. I've traded for hedge funds. I've run a couple of trading desks. I've trained traders from the ground up. This is what I do. It's how I've made my living. Now I've got some kids, and they're darn happy that I did make that choice and decision. But the reason I tell you my credentials is for this reason. It's because in my experience, there are 2 things that are going to be the catalysts in your determination of your success. They are going to be the market that you decide to trade and the people that you trade with. And if you don't have a pen and a piece of paper, I suggest you get one at the moment, because those really are going to be the 2 keys to success. The right market is the one that gives you the most advantages. All right, you got a lot of markets to choose from, stock, options, futures, whatever it is. You have to pick the one that gives you the right advantages, and hands down, that's the Forex market. All right, and who you work with is also going to make a big difference. That's why I've never been too interested really in the latest chart presentation or fancy strategy, because if it was all science, everybody'd be making money. If you agree with that statement, just type a true in the box. All right? If it was all about the charts, and if it was all about the latest strategy, we'd all be making money. If you agree with that, type true in the box. Okay, yeah, don't give me more information, just give me some results. Show me what I need to know, the basics, and then let's have at it. And if that's what you're looking for, you're here in the right place, because results rule. I'm hoping that if you get the stars lined up with the right tools and the right market and the right people, that you have success right out of the gate, like Charles did, who worked with our group and ended up having success the first day. Well, who do I want you to work with? Write down this name, Josh Martinez. I'm going to tell you why I'm introducing you to him. He is the lead trader and trainer here at Market Traders Institute. He started in June of 2011 with $500 in his account and turned that $500 into $39,000. Who was he trained and mentored by? He was trained and mentored by Jared Martinez, the Forex chief. Right? He came in with an idea and a couple dollars in his pocket. He started no differently than every trader starts, with an idea and a couple dollars in your pocket. Now you have a choice. You can go sifting around for all the information that's available, and there's plenty of free stuff, or you can find the right person to trade alongside and start to leverage that knowledge, that experience into your results. Now, not knowing anything about the Forex market, if Josh could show you how to do what he did, turn $500 into $39,000, would that be something that you're interested in finding out more about? That's an easy question. You can type an answer in the box just so that you can practice doing that. But of course, everybody would be interested in doing just that. Well, at the end of my presentation, I'm going to give you an opportunity to do that, because I really think that's what everybody wants. They want to find the person that they can work with and really put them to the test, their results to the test, see if they can translate those results to their own account, and that way they no longer have to be on the search and wander train, but they can be in the one that's delivering results for them. Josh has turned into the lead trainer here at Market Traders Institute. He has a worldwide following. More than 6,000 people pay for the advice that he provides on a daily basis. Now understand, I'm going to introduce you to a couple people, concepts, and ideas, and none of them should be considered typical. I have to tell you that right away. All right? As traders, we're all big boys and girls, but you have to understand, trading involves risk, and you shouldn't risk any money that you're not willing to lose. But I introduced you to Josh for a reason. It's because, third-party verified, this is what he accomplished. The same thing you're hoping to accomplish. You put a couple of $100 into an account, and you turn that into taking out a couple $1,000s a day a few years later. Now, if that's something that you're interested in doing, I've got to give you the basics. I've got to get you to the point where you can work with these traders, give you a foundation so that when it comes time to do some trading of your own, you have a good jumping off point. So you can be like Melissa, working with Josh, making some money. So let me tell you why you're working with the Forex market. All right? You have a choice. You can choose any market, but your focus should be on the one that gives you the most advantages. I choose the Forex for every reason. It gives the trader every available advantage. Liquidity. It's a $4 trillion market. It trades round the clock. The liquidity means I can get into and out of the market at a price that's predictable whenever I want to or need to. That lowers my risk. This market is liquid and it's open round the clock. I get a ton of bang for my buck in this market. It's a leveraged market. It's leveraged 50 to 1, which means for every dollar I put in, the broker I work with matches my deposit 50 times and gives me an opportunity to control a big position. Think of it like the same way you bought your house. You put a little bit of money down, the bank filled in the rest of the gap. You were able to buy the house, control the asset, and then the profit that came from the house was yours to keep. So a little bit controlled a lot. The same thing in the Forex market. It's like I said, it's open round the clock. You don't have to bring a lot of money to the table. Josh brought 500. That's about what I started with 20 years ago. If you have a couple of $100, you can make some noise in this market, and it's real easy to understand. All right, most of you know more about this market than you think you do. I've only got a short amount of time to kind of fill that in and get you started. All right, but the fact is, you can start in this market absolutely risk-free to you financially. Here we go. All right, if you've ever been to a currency exchange booth, you have done a foreign currency trade. So it's nothing to be afraid of. If you ever walked up to one of these booths and checked the daily exchange rate, you've seen Forex trading happen. In fact, you've probably done it yourself. For example, let's say you walked up to the booth and you saw that going exchange rate, US dollar Canadian 1.325. What you'd know immediately is every dollar you had in your pocket could be exchanged for 1.325 Canadian. So if you decided to exchange 1,000 US dollars at the going rate, you get back 1,325 Canadian dollars. If that makes sense, go ahead and type yes in the box. That's actually a pretty simple exercise. It's that simple to understand foreign exchange. Are you with me? Type a yes in the box. Okay, everybody's got it. Listen, what you do in this instance is sell US dollars. You're selling 1,000 US dollars and you're buying Canadian dollars at the going rate. Okay, let's say you did that exchange or that trade in the morning. You did that trade in the morning and you decided to take a walk around, doing whatever you might do to enjoy the day wherever you happen to be. Let's say some time goes by and you go back to the exchange booth. Okay. What's going to happen is when you check the exchange rate in the evening, it's going to be different than it was in the morning. You remember in the morning it was 1.325, but when you check it in the evening, it will have fluctuated. Why? Because currency rates fluctuate throughout the day. This is a simple concept to understand. In this case, let's say the currency rate fluctuated by about a penny. Okay? To most of us, the tourists, not that big of a deal. What do they want to do? They just want to get rid of the Canadian dollars they have in their pocket, get their US dollars back, and go home. Here's the thing. When that happens, in this particular case, you end up getting back a little more than what you started with. Now, in this case, you'd end up with $10 more. Type your answer in the box if you know it. How is it that you can end the day with more money than you started with doing the same exercise at the exchange window? Where did the extra $10 end up coming from? The answer is it came from, and most of you got it, a fluctuation in the exchange rate. All right? In this case, the exchange rate fluctuated by about a penny. All right? It ended up yielding you a return on your 1,000 invested of $10 or 1%. Now, some of you might not be impressed with that, but think about it. Your checking account pays 1% for the whole year. Here you made it in a day. If you made that every day, you'd make 365% for the year, which wouldn't be a bad rate of return. But understand something. We're not here for even numbers like that. We're here because this market gives us every available advantage, including leverage. And the fun starts when we start using that leverage to our advantage. Because I don't know if you're impressed with a $10 return on 1,000 invested, but when you can leverage that 50 times and make $500 or 50% on your money in a day, that at least has to get your attention. Would you at least be interested in finding out how to make an extra $500 a day on 1,000 invested? Would that be the worst thing in the world? There aren't too many other places you can do that. The Forex market gives you that kind of opportunity. So that's what we're looking to identify. All right? Choosing the right market, choosing the place that gives you the most opportunity and the lowest risk is the market that you need to choose. And it has to be simple. All right? The currency market couldn't be any easier. The stock market, you need to know 40,000 stocks. In the currency market, you need to know 6 currency pairs. Go ahead and jot them down. Canadian, Euro, Pound, Yen, Swiss, and Australian is all you're going to need to know, really, to trade the currency market. So there's opportunity, and it's simple. How simple? Well, every time you see one of those currency pairs, it's followed by an exchange rate. You already know how this works. For every item you have in your pocket here on the left side, you can exchange that or buy this amount of the currency on the right side. So in this example, 1 euro would buy 1.1132 US dollars. And I know I'm talking fast because I've only got a limited amount of time, but if that made sense, go ahead and type a yes in the box so I can keep going. It should be real easy. Yeah, everybody's got it. Okay. Wow, all of you have got it. Good. Exchange rates are quoted in dollars and cents. All right, dollars and cents. But we as currency traders want to concentrate on these last 2 digits out here in the 3rd and 4th decimal place. Those are called the pips. The pip stands for price interest point. Breaking down a currency into hundredths of a penny. Now, it doesn't seem like a big deal, but as traders, Forex traders, that's where the money is. That's where the pips are. I'll show you how this works, because we're looking to capture pips. When we trade currencies, we're going to trade in what's called lots. The lot is like the house. A lot controls $100,000 worth of currency. Now, we don't have to put up all that money in order to trade this market because of that concept of leverage. We only have to put up a small amount to control that lot of currency. The broker we work with is going to match our deposit 50 times, 50 to 1 leverage. So we put up a little. The broker we work with matches that 50 times. That equals $100,000. Now we're controlling a lot of currency, a lot. So now we're in the game. The broker we work with is going to open the door to this opportunity for us. Now, some of you might say, well, what broker do I work with, or why do they do that? Understand something. You're going to have a relationship with a Forex broker. It's real easy to open an account. You could probably have an account open in about 8 or 9 minutes after I'm done with my talk. All right, I'll even point you in the right direction for a broker you can open an account with. You could literally be trading currencies in an hour after I'm done. Okay. So why does the broker provide us the leverage? Here, the broker provides us the leverage because they collect a small toll on every trade that you do, called the spread. Write it down. For every trade you do, the broker is going to charge you a 1 to 3 pip spread, a toll, a commission, if you will, all right, on the trade that you do. But that's going to be what opens the door for you to be able to do this. Now let's put it all together. All right, by the time I'm done here with you, you're going to know more than 90% of the people on this planet about trading Forex. This is how it all works. Let's say you have that currency pair, and you own it, and it moves in your direction by about half a penny, 50 pips. Let's say you have one lot of that currency. That's a $100,000 position. Okay, you would have put up $2,000 to control that lot of currency. Do some quick math here. When you multiply that position you own by the movement, by the 50 pips that it moved in your direction, how much do you come up with? $500. Which means each of those pips is worth $10 to you. And if you look at rates of return here, $2,000 invested, $500 return, that's 40% on your investment. Now, how often does that happen? That's a good question. How often does this really happen? Joe, it looks like a good number. I like $500. In fact, if you're telling me I can make $500 a day, this might be worth looking into, especially if I only have to have $2,000 of my own money in an account to pull that off. How often does this happen? It happens in every one of these currencies every single day. All right? How much of an opportunity is there in the euro every day? About 135 pips. How about the pound? About 160 pips. Right? How about on the Australian? 122. Understand, I'm telling you that there's this kind of opportunity in every currency every day. And you don't have to capture all of these in order to make it. In fact, you don't even have to capture one. You only have to capture a portion of one of these to make serious money in the Forex market. That's why when we identify which market gives us the best opportunity and the lowest risk, this is the market we choose. Now, very quickly, if you're new and 50 pips seems like a lot to you, what if you only captured 10 pips a day? That'd be $100 a day, an extra $500 a week, an extra $26,000 for the year. For how many of you, how many would you be inspired? It's called investor inspiration. How many of you would be inspired by being able to do nothing more than trade a little bit of currency, click your mouse from the comfort of your own home, and be able to make an extra $26,000 this year? If that was possible, would that at least put you in a place of additional comfort? That's really why I introduced this market to especially new people, because there just isn't a place that gives them all of these advantages and simplicity and opportunity as the Forex. And when you get started, especially if you're working with the right people like Mike is, hey, I'm working with Josh Martinez. I met him a minute ago. How did I do this morning? I made 52 pips. Using one of Josh's strategies, I made $520. Not a bad morning. Peter says the same thing. Doing what Josh is telling me. He's my mentor. He's my guide in this exercise. I've chosen him to kind of lead me where I need to go. How did I do? I made myself 80 pips. $800. Not a bad morning. All right, and Josh doesn't just throw stuff against the wall and hope it sticks. I don't pick and choose and farm out the different best case scenarios when it comes to the market. I think we're all a little bit more mature than that. Don't give me hype, don't give me nonsense. Show me some results, but it also has to make sense. And this is really where the rubber meets the road. I want you to look at these two words here, stop and limit. Stop and limit. For my veterans, you know what these are. For my new people, I want you to understand something. Trading is about finding what works and doing it over and over again. It's also about protecting your downside. It's also about protecting your profit. The two toughest things to do as traders is the two things I just said. Protecting your downside because we screw up and we don't do it. And then a trade goes against us, and what do? We have a loser, so we buy more, hoping that we can average the cost down. That way, hopefully it'll come back, and then it goes against us further, and we continue to buy the dud until our account is broken. Okay? How many traders do you know that buy as the thing is going down, hoping that they can average their cost and it will come back to them? But on the flip side, what a good trader does is just the opposite. They buy into a position that is getting more expensive. As the trade goes into their advantage, they continue to leverage that winner and buy more. But for most new people, that is something that's kind of outside their realm of understanding, their realm of capability. So they end up doing the wrong thing and wonder what happened. What good traders do is they follow formulas that work. They protect their downside with something called stops. A stop order is one that says, if this goes against me, I want to build a floor underneath it, so that I'm out with a small loss as opposed to exposing the bulk of my account to loss. That way, I'm ready with the remainder of my funds to take on the next trade. Now, just as important is an upside limit. A limit protects your profit. When we reach an upside target, guess what? The only way we can put those funds into our account is to sell and put them into our account. When Josh trades and you trade with him and the team here at Market Traders Institute, you will be doing these formula type things over and over again until you yourself are good enough at them that you don't need a mentor anymore. That's the name of the game. All right? And it says, look, I made 88 pips in a half hour. 88 pips is $880 in a half an hour. Not too many other jobs or opportunities available like that. What would you rather do? Do some trading alongside the best, like Earl and Chris and Josh. Make yourself $800 in a day. This is the kind of thing that people get inspired by. All right, now who's Chris? Chris is another trader, Forex trader, 6 years, originally taught by the chief. Started with a small amount, just like every trader does. Now he has a worldwide following, and he's the face of our company. When the news crews come in here and say, hey, we need a Forex comment, they throw Chris in front of them. Number one, because he's a good-looking guy. But number two, it's because he knows what he's doing. You want to learn how to leverage an account, leverage success. Following his lead and strategies for that leverage is a good way to do it. And putting you alongside these guys to be able to work with them is really the point of my talk today. Because it's not about the latest strategy of the day, and it's not about the latest chart. It's about who you work with that helps you trade the right way. How I learned. I learned from a guy named Michael Ryan. He was a lumber trader from Ireland. He and I used to trade contracts on the CBOE. I would trade one at a time and say, I don't really know what I'm doing, but I'm new and I have an idea. And he said, young man, come over here, in his Irish accent. I don't know why he liked me. I think it's because we were both Catholic, but whatever. We ended up hitting it off, and he ended up showing me how to do this. And it wasn't about ticks and charts and anything else. It was much more about doing things the right way. Now, what if you don't have $2,000 to put into an account? What if you only have that couple of $100 we were talking about? Well, then you're not going to trade full lots of currency right out of the gate. You're going to trade what's called mini lots. Write it down. And I would suggest writing this down because this is probably where you're going to start in a way that makes sense. Dipping your toe in the water with a small amount of capital, making sure what I'm telling you yields the results you're looking for. I think grown-ups, we are over hype stuff. We want to see results. And if I ask you to make a commitment for 30 days to seeing results using just a small amount of your capital, I'm not going to hurt you. I'm going to help you. I'm going to open the door for you to not just a neat opportunity, but also some neat relationships. You'll start with a mini lot. What does that mean? Well, your broker's still going to match it 50 times. You're going to end up trading a $10,000 position instead of $100,000. Okay, we'll go a little smaller. So those pips aren't going to be worth $10. They're going to be worth $1. Can you make money $1 at a time in this market? Of course you can. Angus did it. I'm working with Josh. How did I do? I'm trading a mini account. How much did I make? $920 that night. Not too bad. And in 2 weeks, trading a mini account, I'm up $1,500. If in 2 weeks from today, where you came to the Investor Inspiration Workshop, you had an extra $1,500 in your account because you made a decision to take advantage of the opportunity, that would mean that this was a pretty good way to spend some of your time. Angus traded for years, traded the Forex. But when he finally got hooked up with the right people, he realized it wasn't about the charts. We're all looking at the same one. All right? It's not about the fancy strategy. Everybody's using a strategy. Everybody's looking at the same chart. How is it that some people get results and others struggle? It's like anything else. Once somebody gets it, that's the person you want to follow. Does that make sense? We're all looking at the same chart. When you find a trader that gets it, that's who you want to follow. You know why? Because I've been in and around CBOE, Amex, Toronto Exchange, New York Stock Exchange, Australia Exchange. Here's what I know. There aren't any average traders. There just aren't. Either they're getting it and it's huge, $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 a day, or they're struggling. But there's very little middle ground. You got to find a team to work with. Josh, Chris, Market Traders Institute, I'll give you a chance to do that come Monday morning at the end. And you're ready to do it because you can talk the talk. You have the vocabulary now. Don't make it harder than it is. All right? And the only thing left for you to do is trade. Now that you've got the information, there's not much left to do. Don't think you have to know everything there is before you place your first trade. You don't. Basics and go. Spot the trend, know when to buy, know when to sell. And as a new person, the only one you're going to be responsible for is the first one. If you can spot the trend, you can talk the talk. That means you can follow the traders into their trade. The heavy lifting, let that be up to these guys for now. Be a part of the group. Feel as if you belong, and at this point you just about do. Pips, lots, leverage, right? You know your 6 currency pairs, right? You understand spread. You're going to have a brokerage account. That's fine. If you can spot the trend, let these guys do the heavy lifting for now, and then get those results that are going to continue to build your account and build your confidence. Let's have a look. If you can spot the trend, we're good to go. Help me out. Looking at this chart, it's not very hard to figure out. Is this an uptrend or a downtrend? Type your answer in the box while I get a quick sip of water. Uptrend or downtrend? Help me out. I'm not trying to insult your intelligence. I'm trying to show you how easy this part of it is. Yeah, and you've all got it. It's an uptrend. Right? It's an uptrend. But here's what I want you to notice. Right? The train starts to move. Okay? We are looking to get on a moving train and allow it to move us and our account to the next level higher, and that's great. Okay, but what ends up happening within an uptrend is sometimes the train's running and sometimes it's pulling back into the station. Okay, those are opportunities for us to get on the train. Once the train starts running again, guess what? We missed it. We have to wait for the next time it offers us an opportunity to get on. And the same thing happens in the currency market over and over again. But here's what you need to know. When it's time to get on the train, typically, where this arrow is, that's where traders mess up, especially new ones. The veteran trader will look at this opportunity to buy at a low price. The novice trader will see this and say, oh no, it's going down, and they will sell here instead of buying here. What ends up happening is when they sell here, the market moves against them. The train starts to run. Until finally it gets to a point where they say, I have to get off this train, my trade is getting beaten up. And they instead of buying low and selling high, they do just the opposite. This is the hardest thing to do. And that's why you need the veteran, the experience, to give you the confidence to buy at those low prices and to sell at those high prices. I'm in two trades right now that if you were one of my twos or threes, you want to jot them down. I'm short the pound Australian and I'm short the pound Canadian. And if you were to look at those charts, you would see what looks like runaway trains to the upside. All I've been waiting for on those runaway trains is a chance to get in short. Pound Canadian, pound Australian. Write them down because there's huge opportunity there. You want inspiration, I'll give it to you in just a minute. But help me out. You saw that the first one was an uptrend. What does this one look like to you? Because if you can get this, you're going to be ready to go. And I'll tell you what the opportunity is. Is this an uptrend or a downtrend on the Australian dollar? Type your answer in the box. Bob's got it, Henry's got it, Irwin's got it, Leonardo's got it, Cal's got it. It's a downtrend. Okay? Downtrend on the Australian dollar. That lasted for the better part of a year. And if you can recognize that, if you understand what the prevailing trend is, that's step one. Let Chris, let Josh do the other two parts for now. Identify the buy, identify the sell, and help you build your account, build your confidence, starting with that small amount. Because what I'm wanting to happen is that you are the one that builds your account from 500 to 39,000 the way that they did. And as far as I'm concerned, I know you can do it, and I know you're ready to do it. So let's talk about how you work with these guys. And you knew this was coming. All right, we sell dreams and performance. This is what we do. Opportunity is where it's at. But this one's a low-risk opportunity. In fact, I'll show you how you can get into it risk-free to you. All right, what is the program I'm talking about? It's working with two traders live in the market twice a week, Mondays and Thursdays. 2 live sessions a week. I'll give you the times in a minute. Monday's going to be a planning session. Thursday's going to be a live session. Monday goes for an hour. Thursdays go for 4 hours live in the market. And if you've got a trader that's willing to trade live in the market with you, you understand that they understand that this is a results-driven business. They have to deliver those results. Why? Because not only do they have to fulfill what it is I'm presenting to you, but they also want to continue to grow our group because they want you to tell 2 and 4 and 8 people about your experience. One way or the other, you're going to tell them. Either it was a good one or a lousy one, you're going to tell all your friends. They understand that it's a results-driven business, and they're still willing to trade live with you in the marketplace. When's your first class going to be? This Monday, November the 9th, 9 a.m. If you can't make it to the class, it's okay. We'll give you a username and a password. You can listen live and take notes as you go, or you can come back a little bit later and listen to a taped broadcast where you can hit the pause button when it's time to take those notes. Frankly, I like listening to the recorded sessions because Josh covers a lot of information quickly, and there's a lot of things that I need to write down. Here's what you need to know. The pound Canadian, as we speak, and the pound Australian, as we speak, are presenting a short side opportunity that's equal to almost 2,000 pips. If you remember, a pip is worth $10 on a $2,000 investment. Between now and the end of December, Josh is looking at those setting up as $20,000 opportunities. I don't know how much investor inspiration you can buy with 20 grand, but I bet you can buy a little. And if you're trading mini lots, that's about $2,000 worth of opportunity. If you're new and you only get half of it, it's $1,000. It still pays for Christmas. It's worth being in the class Monday to find out what those setups look like and why they're setting up and how you can enter that trade, very little risk, very high reward to you. If you're brand new, you got to be there. If you're a veteran and you're looking to change your results, you got to be there. All right? Anybody that's trading is looking for 1,200 pip opportunities. Be there Monday to get the pound Canadian and the pound Aussie. I'm in both as we speak. I'm short both as we speak, and I can check where they are at the moment on my cell phone. All right? Because I'm working with a group that has this kind of technology, I can see where these things are trading right now. And as a matter of fact, I'm loading it up on my telephone. My pound Canadian's trading at 201.18. I'm 59 pips to the good. My pound Australian is trading at 214.38. I'm just 17 pips to the good. But guess what? That's not a bad trading day so far. I'm 73 pips to the good. That's where I want you to be. Be there on Monday. Like I said, it's recorded and archived. When it comes to live trading, your first live class is Thursday the 12th. Again, you'll be able to log in with your user ID and password, and we'll trade live in the market. We'll trade the US dollar open on Thursday, November the 12th. In fact, here's your first 8 sessions. Write these down. Monday the 9th, 16th, 23rd, and 30th. Thursday the 12th, 19th, 26th, and December 3rd. Write those down because that's going to be your slate for the next 30 days to take your newfound basic knowledge of the Forex to the next level with the right people. A lot of people to choose from. Choose somebody. Choose Josh and Chris and the Chief. A lot of information looking at the charts. Let's find out what success is doing and model after the success. Here's what you need to know. December 3rd is going to be one of the bigger days. Why? Because the day after, the market's going to move, and it's going to move huge. How do I know? Because on the first Friday of the month, just like the first Friday of last month and the month before and the month before, an announcement that comes from the U.S. Labor Department moves the currency market. You will have had a couple of weeks preparation to take advantage of that market movement. And between the pound Canadian, the pound Australian, and non-farm payrolls, 3 opportunities within the next 30 days, you just might have the makings, the framework for a huge quarter and beginning of 2016. It's called the Live Forex Mentorship and Empowerment Program. 8 live sessions in the market, Josh and Chris being your mentors. They will talk to you personally to make sure that your goals are in line with what this opportunity is. A lot of you are asking me questions right now. Alan saying, what size account do I need without blowing it up? Well, that's a pretty important consideration. But if you had a 1,200 pip opportunity against a 20 pip or 40 pip risk, you'd know exactly what size trade you would do in your own account. These guys will talk to you on a one-on-one basis. You'll always be linked to them, whether it's by phone or whether it's by chat box, similar to the way we're doing it here. Because this is a personal exercise. Trading is a personal exercise. Your results are dang personal. And getting those results is going to be personal to you, but it's also going to end up being personal to them. Get involved in their program. We'll make sure you have the basics. You had most of them from me today. And just in case you want to trade on days that they're not there, Monday and Thursday, we're going to make sure that one of our MTI trainers, me included, is available for you round the clock. So during this 30 days that you're going to be putting this to the test, you'll have every available tool to take the next step in your Forex trading, which is what I said you'd have at the beginning. Newbies, you're going to take a step into becoming a Forex trader. Those of you who are not trading real money yet will be able to have that confidence to do it. And if you're struggling, let's get you out of that rut. All I need to do is show you 2 good trades. And if it's the pound Aussie and the pound Canadian or both, that's going to fix what might be broken and take you to that next level. Now, how much is all that? Everybody asks. Normally, if you put all that stuff together, a la carte retail, it's $349. Here at Market Traders Institute, we normally discount that 50%, so it's $179 for the month. But at Investor Inspiration, Reed said, give me a price point that everybody can get involved. And there is no barrier to entry. So what we do is we take it down 50% again. And at Investor Inspiration, what we do is say, it's $87 for the month. $87 gets you, for the price of a cup of coffee on a trading day, $3 a day, 30 days, $90, it's even less, okay? Gives you Josh and Chris live twice a week, help 24 hours in the best market that there is. And because they believe in it so much, They warranty it and say, try it for 30 days. Try us for 30 days. Put us to the test. Put $87 on your MasterCard, Visa, American Express, whatever it is, and join our trading group. Be there Monday. Get our trades. Mirror, match what it is we're doing. Let us be your mentors. And if it's not everything we said after 30 days, we'll give you back every penny you paid just for giving us a shot at it. So it is $87 today. Now, how do you get it? Here, let me show you. If you click on this link that I just gave you, click on this link that I just entered into your chat box, what's going to pop up is an order screen. If you put some very basic information into that order screen, here, I'll drag it over for you. Let's see if I can pull this off. There it is. Put some very basic information into this order screen. Yeah, I'm not as good at this as I should be. Hold on. Down here at the bottom, right, first name, address, email address. And then down here, your method of payment, and place the order. For $87, here's what's going to happen. Immediately, you'll get a welcome letter. You'll get a user ID and a password so that you're ready to go for Monday morning. But it also gives you access immediately to all the archived information, including what came out yesterday, including what will come out on this Thursday. So you are going to be a part of our trading group immediately. You'll have a reservation for 4 consecutive weeks, Mondays and Thursdays, the live classes. Not only that, I'll make sure you get this extra stuff to be looking at so that you're that much more prepared for Monday. Introduction to Currency Trading, what we did here today, the Chief's book, the one that I talked about at the beginning. We'll make sure to get in touch with you so that we can figure out what your goals are. If you need to make an extra $400 this month because you want to make your car payment Forex trading, that's 40 pips. That's 2 pips a day. How do we find you 2 pips a day? Let's have that conversation. And don't forget, I'll give you, it's the first month of Analyst on Demand, meaning we'll always be there trading with you. The warranty's there. As a Investor Inspiration attendee, not only do you have the opportunity to get started for $87, and it's only $87 a month after that, and there's no commitment. You decide if you want to continue with it. As far as I'm concerned, it's a great deal. Josh is my trading partner. Did I identify the pound Canadian and the pound Aussie? Of course I did. I can see the trend. But when it comes to fine-tuning it, he's got the experience, he's got the expertise, and he and I make sure to bounce that stuff off of one another, and Chris included. So we don't just get in, we get best pricing on the upside. We get best pricing on the downside. Is this going to pay for itself? What are they trying to deliver? 9 pips worth of value. And if they can't do it, you get your money back. I can't make it a better offer than that. Alan, I see what you're talking about. We'll make sure to correct it. $87 a month. $87 today, $87 a month after that. And Roberta, yes, it is being recorded. So if you missed part of this, you certainly can go back and listen to it. But for now, here's what you need to do. My time is up. I was given 45 minutes and I've taken them. But to get you involved, click on that link. I'll go ahead and send it to your chat box one more time. Click on that link. Join Josh and Chris in the live Forex Mentorship Program. That is what you'll need, the right market and the right people to take you to the next level. Now, I'll do a couple of quick questions before I go. What charting program is needed, Alan? Whatever one is provided by your broker is going to work from the beginning. Freebie, use it. As long as you're looking at the same chart as Josh is. He'll be looking at, let's say, the pound US. You'll be looking at the pound US. And you'll be able to translate that information, right, very, very easily. Don't make it harder than it is. Tools are great. Strategies are great. But it's the people and the analysis and the ability to hit the button that's going to give you the confidence to do this properly. What trading houses support Forex? Do this. Type Forex brokers into your Google chat box. You'll probably see FXCM, you'll probably see Forex.com, you'll probably see Oanda, you'll probably see MB Trading. There's several. I have an Owanda account out of Toronto. They happen to be friends of mine, so I use them. All right? The fact of the matter is, I had an account opened in 8 minutes. I had it funded in 4 minutes using my debit card. So 12 minutes after I clicked on open an account, I was ready to trade. Now, if you're not ready to make a deposit, click on open a practice account. They'll give you play money to trade with. Will Thinkorswim work? Alan, I think they have a Forex platform. Those are people that I know. Yes. If they have a Forex platform, use it. Nothing wrong with it. TradeStation, use it. Those are more friends of mine. Virginia and Fort Lauderdale, fine. Use it. All right, I'm not going to recommend a broker because that's not my job. Okay, we don't have those relationships because we don't have those conflicts of interest. Use who you want. Gain Capital, Forex.com, great. FXCM, publicly traded, use them. Owanda, traded on the Toronto, great. Can the market gap past a stop? Brad, the answer is a very qualified no. All right? It trades through every price. If your price exists in the book, it trades through your price. The only time it didn't was January of last year on the Swiss. It is what it is.